Alright, this is going to be my presentation on my final project. My final project is Valorant Fast Stats. It's a Valorant database tracker for the VCT tournament that took place in 2021. I want to believe it was the winter of 2021, which is like the big leagues, you know, the big tournament hosted by Riot. You know, very interested in Valorant. A little bit of a backstory. I just really enjoy the game, and I thought it would be cool to make a final project on it. So, here we go. So who is Valorant Fast Stats made for? It's a database application made for all Valorant players. You know, that includes Riot employees, Valorant players like you and I, casters, streamers, anyone really. And it takes all the tournament data that is scattered around the internet and organizes it into one database. Now this is important because, generally speaking, you know, you have all this data, you have programs that record all this data, but it's so scattered about, and it don't really have it in one specific area where you can you know, access it quick and be like, oh, okay, this took place at this time on this tournament. It's a little harder to find, a little not as intuitive or not as straightforward as I'd like it to be. So FastStats will give you the most accurate statistics of the VCT tournament. In this case, it is the VCT tournament from 2021. It's called VCT Reykjavik. Why choose FastStats? So Valorant players and esports organizations alike, they want clear and concise data. Right? They don't want data they want to be able to access it right away. They don't want to have to dig for it, and they don't want to have to look around. So FastStats solves this problem, and it you know, takes everything from the VCT and puts it into one simple database. I think I'm kind of reiterating on that. It's accessible at the click of a button. I mean, you don't even need a login. Most other websites, you got to connect either your Riot account, some kind of account, and you have to log in. This, you do not even have to log in. You are just able, at the click of a button, to access all this data, which is really easy for people to use. Alright, so we're getting into some of the features of Valorant Fast Stats, and the first feature, and I think one of the most important features, is the agent selection. You know, obviously in Valorant there's many different characters and you can play, and they're called agents. And, you know, it's one of the most important parts of the game, is like building a team composition and building that around every single agent and their abilities in the game. So, being able to see, you know, who plays the agent and how, you know, what their playtime and their stats is very important. Next we have the map selection. You're going to be able to, you know, select each map and see, you know, oh, what team excels at this map, or maybe what team struggles on this map. This will show things like the win-loss ratio, the win percentage, you know, how each team is performing on that specific map. The next is going to be team rankings. There was 10 teams that participated in the VCT Reykjavik. So obviously there's a first place all the way through 10th place. And upon clicking the team's drop-down menu, you will be provided with every team, and you'll be able to see where they placed. Player search. So this is also a pretty important feature. It goes along with the agent search and the player tab. You're going to be able to search up a specific player and have it come and have it show up that player, so you don't have to search through the entire database for this one person. This is nice. It's pretty convenient. You know, say you have a specific person in mind that you're trying to look for. Just at the, you know, you can type it in. Really easy. If they don't exist, it'll give you an error message. Pretty straightforward. And we're getting closer to the end here. We have the administrator login. This isn't too important, and not a lot of users will be using the admin login, since the tournament already happened and the data is pretty static. But occasionally, you know, there will be a slip up and you need to edit data, add a new player, delete a player, and that's what the administrator login is for. So this is an alternative login from the guest that will, you know, if you have the username and password, you will be able to access this form and, you know, edit whatever data you need. So a little bit of an app comparison here. This is an application called Tracker. And while it's very nice, as you can see, it's very claustrophobic, very littered with just so much data everywhere. It's like, whoa, where do I even start? You have an ad at the top, which is very ugly. It's a lot that meets the eye, and FastStats kind of changes this, and it makes something a little simpler. That's not as scary to navigate. And yeah, so that is FastStats. I think this program is very good. It's better for tournament organizers and people who are more interested in the tournament scene and using and working with the data from the VCT. All right, so here we are. This is Valorant FastStats. This is the login. As you can see, if you're logging in as a guest, you do not need an account. And if you have an admin login, you will need to provide the username and password. We will get to this in a little bit. So let's click on guest login for now and see what's going on. So it says, welcome to Valorant Stats. Pretty simple. We have a main menu. We have a drop-down menu with the agents, the maps, the players, and the teams. And so, I guess going in order, we can start with the agents. So let's maximize this. So we have every single agent in the game, including the newest iteration of agents, Neon, and I believe at the time, where is it? KO was a new agent. And so, yeah, so you pretty much can look at any single agent right here and be like, okay, I want to, Jet's a pretty popular character in Valorant. Let's see what Jet's all about. Let's see who plays her. And when you click on it, you're going to get every single player from every single team that played Jet. And as you can see, and this is really interesting, Tens, who's widely considered one of the probably the top 10 Valorant players, just blew every other Jet out of the water here when it comes to KDA, headshot percentage, and I think his maps played even reflects how important he was to Sentinel's team. So getting a little sidetracked, but just a little interesting data that I found from doing this. So let's move on. We have the maps. Clicking on the maps tab, you can see we have Ascent, Bind, Breeze, Icebox, Haven, and Split. At the time of this tournament, these were the 6 maps that were played. Fracture was not released yet. So let's see. I guess for this example, we will go Haven looks pretty. Let's go to Haven. And you're going to be able to display every single team. This is all 10 teams that played. And it looks like Sentinels, who actually ended up winning the tournament, has an 100% win rate on Haven, which is actually pretty crazy. Didn't drop a single game here. Next up you have Fnatic, New Turn, and you got Sharks and Crazy Raccoons that aren't doing so well on this map. So kind of interesting. You can see every single team and how they performed on each map and where what maps they might struggle with. All right, so moving on to players. This is really interesting here. You have every single player that has participated in the tournament, all the way. I think there's like, gosh, probably 50 plus people. So let's say that you are looking for a specific player, right? One of my favorite teams is Team Liquid. Let's say Link, right? I know he's a player on Team Liquid. Let's search for him, and there it is. He comes up. He's part of Team Liquid. His main agent is Omen. He's played in 9 of the maps of the tournament, which is a big amount, and a pretty overall important part of the team. Now let's say that I don't know I know their name, but I don't know the specific capitalization. It's okay. Valorant FastStats has got you. You can type in that, which is clearly not how Link spells his name. We can even put a capital K, and let's use a different name actually for testing purposes. Magnum. I know he's a player. Oh, let's put some capital letters. That's definitely not how Magnum spells his name, but it's okay. The program knows that you are looking for Magnum, who is part of Team Fnatic. So going back to the main menu, we're gonna select an option. Let's go back to players. So that is the players tab. Pretty straightforward. You're able to at the click of a button see every single player and all their data. Really nice. Moving on to the teams. This is the final part of Valorant Fast Stats. Here you're going to be able to see every single team, their seeding, and the place that they received in the tournament. So Sentinels, obviously winning the tournament, seeded first, did place first place, have version 1 with a whopping 5th place. And, you know, I made sure to highlight first place, second place, and third in a different, like a bolder text so you can see. But this is the seeding and the tournament placements for Fast Stats, or for the VCT. Really interesting. I love these teams' logos. I think they're really cool. If I had to pick a favorite, oh man, Crazy Raccoons. They got a pretty funny name. So yeah, that is the guest part of Valorant Fast Stats. So moving on, we are back in the login, and for the username of the admin login, for testing purposes, we're just going to say admin, and for password, it's going to be password. Pretty straightforward. Obviously, wouldn't recommend making this your real login, but for the sake of the program, that's what we're going with. You're going to see it's going to open up into a pretty similar form, and upon clicking players, you're going to be able to edit these players, and you're going to be able to create a new player. Alright, so let's create a new player. Let's, for the sake of for testing, let's say I played in the VCT. Let's see, put my gamer tag and my team name. Let's say that I played for Fnatic. I'm a British man on a British team. And, gosh, I popped off this tournament, a whopping 2.11 KDA, which is fantastic, by the way, if you don't know. Main agent, I am a Cypher main. And maps played, gosh, they loved me. They wanted me in so many games, so that I played 12 maps. And my headshot percentage, we'll go with pretty average, 34%. You know, which actually doesn't match the KDA at all, but it's okay. We're going to click Create Player, and as you can see, the database updates. Now if we search for, let's search for Sacrace. And there I am. I have been created. I am now a part of this database. I am on Team Fnatic. I play Cypher. And there, yeah, I am now a part of Team Fnatic. And of course, if we want to go back, we can look at someone else from Team Fnatic, which is like Poster. Search that up, right? Go to players. There we go. So that is admin mode. So yep, that is Valorant Fast Stats. Thank you so much for using this application, and thank you so much for watching.